My name is Dwayne Mirmo and I'm from Edmonton, Alberta. There's a lot of things to be gained from attending these tournaments. First of all, as a team, you learn tactics. As an individual, you learn skills and you get a chance to put all that practice you put in actually playing another team of a quality that will give you good competition.
Kathy Cunningham, coach of the Okanagan Thunderchairs. With this tournament, and this tournament started in Penticton 14 years ago, I got it started with the team, and it's the only tournament where we mix up players, so they're playing with other players from different teams, so it's a learning tournament, both for the players and for the referees, linesmen, and for our team, they can then go out and promote the sport and help the younger players and share their strengths, because some of the players on our team have been around playing for 8 to 10, 12, 14 years. They have a lot of experience.
Well, you get your best velocity on a ball from a spin kick, especially there's a particular chair that's made by power soccer shops that's made just for the sport. And it's called a Strike Force chair, and it's kind of revolutionized the sport and taken it to a new level. Any high-level player would be using the same Strike Force chair, and they spin very fast. So you're limited as to top speed in a chair, but not acceleration and not for spinning speed. So when you spin, you can hit the ball harder so that it goes faster than what you can push it with a chair. So your object, to really simplify it, is to make the ball move faster than the other chairs can go so that they can't catch it. Because if they all drive the same speed, it's pretty hard to score a goal against somebody who's going exactly the same speed as you in the ball. So to make the game really oversimplified, you're trying to hit the ball harder than the other guy can catch it.
My daughter Bhavin, his sister, is playing in the tournament. We are here from Surrey, BC, and we play with the local association practice in Cloverdale at the Cloverdale Rec Centre. She has a couple of cerebral palsy, epilepsy, arthrogryposis. She's a club feet and stuff, so she's got a wide range of diagnoses, and when she was introduced to power soccer, it was just something she fell in love with because it's one of the more competitive sports out there. Like for some families and for ours, there is a lot of thought and consideration that needs to go into putting these events on for whatever diagnoses, whatever your child has. We had one of the parents just say to us that it's easier for them to come in and just drive in because, you know, all the equipment that comes along with some of the conditions, whether it's a hospital bed, the lifts that need to come with, the tube feeds, all that sort of things that have to come in, that you kind of have to move your house with you when you go on these kinds of tournaments. And multiple chairs, because Strike Force chairs can only be used to play soccer. They're not your regular mobility chairs to get around the community if that's what you need. So there's multiple pieces of equipment that need to be brought with you. You pack your house and you come on over. But Vernon is very accessible, and the hosts who are having us kind of understand those accessible needs and stuff. So they've picked a facility where we're able to access all of those kinds of supports and needs. The hotels that we stay at, or the accessible rooms are blocked off and stuff like that, so that we have access to those kinds of things. We haven't experienced any hardship, I would say, with those kinds of things, because they're thought out by the people that are planning them, so that makes it easier. What would you say?
I'd say it's a good experience for her.
Yeah, she gets to be with other
people who understand what she's going through, or she can relate to them, and it helps her kind of understand that she's not alone.
Strikeforce chairs are sport specific. They're not good for use outside. They have almost no clearance. They are good for the sport because they're very tip proof. They're a very performance oriented chair. And you would have to have another chair with you wherever you travel. The chairs themselves cost around $10,000 US, depending on options that you put on them, plus freight to get into Canada. So it's not a cheap sport to get involved in the highest levels. Even the metal guards are in the $400 to $500 US range. So it's an expensive sport to operate in, and there's really only one main supplier for all the equipment. And they actually make very good equipment. It's not that they're gouging, it's a lot of welding and expensive stuff to make, and they're indestructible, so they do last just about a lifetime for them. So any funding that they can find from any source is always appreciated. The cost to travel to play the sport is also prohibitive for them. It's a lot of people that have very restricted incomes. So a lot of family support goes into helping them out, as well as fundraising